Well, another day, another bodybuilder has passed away. And Victor Richards was, when I was a kid, he was the guy who could beat Dorian Yates, they said, but he never competed at a high level. He never really took it to that level and never competed in the Olympia. He was supposed to be the guy. The guy was larger than life. In fact, I might have seen him a couple times at Gold's Venice when I was a child or a teenager. What a large, impressive individual. And so, I actually had lunch with my business partner, Brandon Curry, and his wife, Brandy, and my wife, Katie, yesterday, a business lunch. We own 015 Nutrition together. And of course, when we're done talking business, we talk about stuff that's going on. And one thing we spoke about is what is happening that is causing all of these bodybuilders to pass away. And I mean, we talked about a lot of things. And I've been labeled here as an the V word. And I'm not. I just question things, and I'm not a huge fan of this technology until we have more long-term studies. And I am kind of scared at some of the results coming out. But to say that every death that happens is due to it, look, man, Cali Muscle had a blocked left side of his heart. He was blocked. That wasn't from that. And Cali has not had the medical procedure. I confirmed that with him personally. So what is causing all of these bodybuilders to pass away? Well, I can't speak for John. I can't necessarily speak for Shawn, although I do know that he traveled overseas, I believe, to Dubai, which you do require a medical procedure to go there. Well, you don't really require it. It's just a lot easier to travel with it, going to a place like Dubai, Kuwait, etc. Can't speak on George. We're all guessing at this point. What is causing bodybuilders to pass away? So we have to look at everything that's going on around us, right? And we have to look at the individual. Now, I'm going to speak on, Victor's thing as I spoke on Cali Muscle. For Cali, he is, 46 years old. He's black. And being black, you have a higher predisposition for heart disease. And I believe the average age of death for a black man, it factors, all things factored in, right? From violence to whatever, I believe 62 years old. So if you look at the high and the low of when a person dies, and a lot of times it is due to things like heart disease for that, specific race, that specific culture, that specific genetic, whatever you want to call it. So let's look at Victor Richards. Same way we look at Cali, right? Cali's been extremely large his entire life, or at least the life I've known him as, a big guy carrying around 250, 260 pounds of lean mass. That's a lot of work for your heart. I don't know what he's done as far as exogenously. I don't know what his health supplement regimen is. I don't know what his cardio regimen is. I just know that that's a lot of mass to pump blood to. Now you combine that with a culture or a genetic predisposition to heart disease, to congenital issues, and it's the perfect storm. So when you look at Victor Richards, a guy who walked around at 300 pounds, a guy who exercised very intensely to be able to build that muscle, a guy who probably ate a lot of food, putting a lot of stress on his body to get to that size, a guy who, and I'm not saying that steroids necessarily cause heart issues, but steroids cause things that cause heart issues, such as lipid imbalance, such as, LDL, HDL issues. So your lipid profiles are going to be screwed up. Maybe he had estrogen issues. Keeping your estrogen too low might be bad for your heart. So we don't know those things. We don't know if Victor Richards got up every day and did 20 minutes, 30 minutes of cardio, came home, took his ambrosia nectar with polycosanol and red yeast rice and all that good stuff. We don't know if he supplemented with things that helped heart health. We don't know if he got the screenings. We don't know if his father died at the age of 52 of heart disease. Man, I knew a 44-year-old white marathoner. Heart gave out. He died. Just died out of nowhere. It was congenital. It was hereditary. So what I think's happening is just really bad timing and really bad luck. I mean, yeah, okay, there could be the extenuating circumstance of whatever's going on in the world. That could be there, but you have to think about this, that these are very large individuals coming from a segment of the population that is predisposed to heart issues. And we don't know how Victor's been eating for the last 20. I haven't heard Victor's name since like 2004. And even then it was like, hey, remember Victor? Like, dude was 56 years old. So for us to point at drugs and this and that, drugs might have been an issue. Where I think steroids are the main issue is they make you bigger. And they mess with your lipid profiles and your cholesterol. And when you mess with those things, it makes you more predisposed to issues. And what if he was taking at that time a lot of oral steroids? Now, I'm not a doctor and I'm definitely not a PhD. But I do know that, your body is a system. Your body works together. So let's say his liver was messed up. That'll put extra strain on his system in general. So what if he was blasting, 200 milligrams of D-Bol a day? What if he was blasting Halo and Anadrol? We don't know these variables. I think bodybuilders are dying because they're dying. Because their time has come. We all die. It just happens that you ever hear the saying, when it rains, it pours? I think we're at a spot now where it's pouring. And we can't seem to stop it. And every day it seems like another person that I've known of or know personally has passed away. And it's really tough to watch. So I don't think we should point to all these crazy conspiracies, whether it's steroids, whether it's the medical procedure, which I do admit, I will point to that because that is the only, steroids have been a variable forever. Right? They're just there. As long as there was bodybuilding at a competitive level, there were performance-enhancing drugs. Oh, whoa, what about Reg Park? I don't know. Maybe he had juice. I know that in Arnold's day, they were taking D-Bol by the handfuls like Pez. It's like, so you can't state these things for a fact. And we can't go and say that, steroids, this is steroids. It's like, look, yeah, it's a risk. It's a risk that these gentlemen take as adults, knowing that there could be long-term health ramifications of steroid use. And that's why I'm doing the Heart Health series, because I want to make sure that if people do go down that road, that they know how to mitigate these issues involved. And if you don't go down that road, you can still use the same exact protocols to keep yourself healthy, because your heart is what runs your body. When it stops beating, you're dead. And I'm speaking as someone whose business partner is CT Fletcher. I remember training alongside CT before he got his heart transplant, and you could hear his pacemaker beating for him. It happens, And CT, here's another guy who used to be huge, 300 plus pounds, power lifter. And when you're big and then you strain, let's say you're big and you're 300 pounds, you go under the squat bar, your heart rate's through the roof. That's why my brother has a Whoop strap. I'm thinking of getting one. I got this Apple Watch I keep on all the time. My heart rate stays. Today I trained legs and I literally never got my heart rate over 100, and I pushed it hard. I did squat and leg press supersets. Look, guys, I'm tired of seeing people die. But you know what I want to point to, and this might not pay. John Meadows had, he had his issues, right? He had his comorbidities. Like, he already had health issues, right? Shawn, George, all these people had health issues going into it. Shawn had health issues. I mean, we can't state for certain what's causing this, but I will say, and I've said it all along, and people go, you're a hypocrite. Look, dude, I'm on HRT. And I make sure, even on my low dose doctor prescribed HRT, I'm over the top, man. I did an hour and a half of cardio yesterday, over 20,000 steps, right? I take Nectar every single day. I have my new product from Ambrosia called Vita. I take every single day now. I make sure that I get in extra special care for my body, for my heart. I cured my IBS, my irritable bowel syndrome. Now I'm getting in all these vegetables, tons of vegetables, by grass-fed beef when I can. If I eat whole eggs, I make sure they're farm raised, because the lipids, look, the difference between grass-fed and grain-fed beef is very minimal, but I take advantage of every little bit. And also, now that my calories are lower because I'm getting ready for a show, all of my carbohydrate come from high nutrient dense sources. I'm not eating white rice anymore. I'm eating bananas. I'm eating sweet potatoes with all those heart healthy benefits and antioxidants and nutrients. We all have risk, we all do. And another thing, I think, I don't know if this, if anybody, but we also had a year where we had lockdowns. A lot of people were getting less sunlight. They were less active. They were getting less activity. They weren't going out. Think about it this way. When you go to the mall, I want you to wear your Apple Watch or have your iPhone with you. When you go to the mall, have you ever seen how much you walk? Like, I'll walk 5,000 steps at the mall, right? You're not going to the mall. You're not going to the park. You're not going anywhere. So that year of being locked down, what did that do to people's heart health? When the government said that you cannot leave your house and be around other people, what do you think that did to people's overall cardiovascular health? They weren't able to move. They weren't able to walk, unless, of course, you lived in Tennessee, Florida, or Texas. But think about it. We're not even pointing. Maybe it's not even the medical procedure that they're forcing on people. Maybe it's the fact that, and maybe these super colds they're getting isn't because the medical procedure is lowering the immune system. Maybe it's because we told people to sit on their fat ass and we were delivering alcohol and fast food to people's house while people weren't able to pay their bills. Let's also look at stress, right? Do you know Victor Richards? Do you know his financial issues? Maybe the lockdowns caused him to have financial stress. Have you looked at Shawn Rhoden? The guy was literally had a court case for an alleged sexual assault. Have you ever been stressed out? Like, you know what that does to your body? That'll kill you prematurely. George Peterson, he was one day out from a show. You know the stress your body goes through? And that's why I'm doing this series, the Heart Health series. We're going to go over stress, we're going to go over sauna, meditation, everything. And I do all this shit. I do every single one because I don't want to die. I don't want you to die. Look, I didn't know Victor Richards. I might have said hi to him. I don't remember. If I did see him at Gold's Venice when I was a 15-year-old kid, I was probably too starstruck to say a word. But I do remember one time seeing this really larger-than-life black guy, and I don't know who it was. I'm pretty sure it was Victor Richards when I looked in the magazine, because that time we didn't have the internet. We had magazines. We had the internet. It was just really slow. And so I want to use this time, I am a man of faith. I am a man who believes in God. And I want you guys to say a prayer for everybody who's passed away. I want you to say a prayer for the safety and health of everybody in this world and everybody who's watching this video right now. It's a tough time, but there's a lot of variables: size, race, gender, genetics, lockdowns, forced medical procedures. Those, we have to factor those all in. Talking about it doesn't make me anti-medical procedure. Talking about it makes me open-minded and willing to learn. And just because Dr. Fauci and the Biden administration and even Trump, he's the one, this is Trump's medical procedure, right? Just because your hero, politician, or bureaucrat says that something's right doesn't mean you can't question it and learn more about it. And I'm trying to learn as much as I can. So I'd like to just say this, man. I love all you guys. I really fucking do. Every single one of you. Even those of you who hate me and troll me, I want you to live. I want you to prosper. I want you to feel as good as I feel every single day. And that's why I do what I do. I don't know if you guys know what I do and where I've been, and you don't, because it's none of your business. But I've done pretty well in life, and I could just stop doing YouTube right now, stop doing these heart health videos, and I'll be just fine. But honestly, this is my passion. This is my drive. I do it to help. I honestly do. Yeah, I do like running my businesses. I do like promoting my companies, but I could stop this, and I could hire someone else to do it. But I don't. because I have stuff to say. My mission here is not done. And I will not rest until everybody out there is working on bettering their health, bettering themselves, and making it so they're less likely to die. I want fat people to become less fat. I want unhealthy people to become more healthy. I want smokers to quit smoking. I want bad parents to become good parents. I want bad employees to become CEOs. I want poor people to become rich people. Dude, I literally work 6 days a week as a strength coach for a high school. And I turned down the salary so they could put it into equipment and into the kids because I care. And I wish you guys understood. And I wish you didn't think I was such a shill salesman. I wish you guys understood how much I truly fucking care and how much I'm always out here cursing up a storm with my wife about how I don't understand how some people just see something different than what I actually feel. I don't have time. Every day I have to leave the house at 3:45, get home at 5:30, and somehow get my kids to practice while running my businesses to make sure that I am helping these kids become the best they can be. These videos I do that get 2,000 views, that's not worth my time, but I do it because it's the right thing to do. So with that said, guys, prayers out to everyone who's passed away. I hate saying this, but use this as a wake-up call that you need to get your shit together. I'm Marc Lobliner. Thanks so much for watching. That's not a game.